La 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 la, wait till I get my money right.
What's going on, X? Welcome to Quantum Ascend. I have Toshi up on the screen here, the one-day price chart. I do have an alt-season video out for this. Pretty much going to go through the same thing here today, but we're trying to figure out what waves 3, 4, and 5 are going to be looking like here. So looking at Toshi on the macro, only been around since November of 2024, so that was actually the election. So younger asset, was going to be a little bit harder to chart, but we're going to give it a shot here. It also doesn't have a huge market cap. Let's see. This wasn't showing me earlier. Maybe it's around 400 million. I don't know. I'd have to look. But either way, with these younger assets, it is going to be a lot harder to pick that out. But we're going to say, that this thing's getting pretty impulsive here soon. We're waiting on this third wave. You can see the macro 1 and 2 are done right now, just kind of meandering sideways. But sooner than later, we should see this third start to take off. So now we want to figure out where exactly that's going. What does that look like? So what I want to do is I want to draw, I have the fib range on this whole thing going back to that high in January to the low here in April. So I want to take these wave 1 to 2 here and see what a full extension of this wave is. Gets us up here kind of in a no man's land. But if you've been paying attention to the channel, what we're talking about on a lot of these third waves is exceeding that high and then coming back down to test it. Okay. Oftentimes we'll see it go up to the 1618 there on the macro. We can see here that gets us pretty close. The wave 1 to 2 drop. All right, up there around like 0.003, a nice round number. Another way to draw this out is I'm going to take an extension of this first wave. So taking this whole first wave, that 5-wave move, well, that guy gets us right up there to the 1618, right? So that's an extension of the first wave of 4236 all the way up there. And again, how these typically move is we see it up to the 1618 and drop back. So that is very interesting, that confluence there, that first wave does get us out there. We haven't closed that out yet. Oops. Hold on one sec. Go back. Let me get rid of this now. And again, this other one wasn't that far off, waves 1 and 2. So this move would close both of those ranges out. Puts us pretty close. But for the time being, we're going to say wave 3 gets us up there to 0.003. After that, on wave 4, typically in alt season, we see a drop of anywhere from 35 to 50%. On the lower cap stuff, going to be closer to the 50% clip. So we exceeded that high. Well, now we want to come down and back test it. So right there, it's only like a 36% on top of that high. Want to see some supports come in down in this area here. For now, I'm looking at that 0.0018. Puts us pretty close to the 50% clip. So I could see wave 4 going down there. And then wave 5 on a blow off going up here, guys. And so a lot of the market right now, we're looking around a 10x from the current price level. This guy for Toshi, 1367, that's like a 14x. Okay, so a little bit more, but it makes sense. It's a smaller cap coin. It doesn't take as much liquidity to get it going. But what we want to see, a lot of it's going to come down to what's going on with this third wave now. All right, so I'll keep you posted throughout alt season and throughout the process. If you guys, are looking for some more help, on the macro, I do have the Quantum Circle, 2 macro videos, entries, exits, and strategy, private Discord. I mean, for $95 a month, you're making that money back easy just by learning some of this stuff and getting better entries and exits. Like, for example, my group today knew for a week now that we were looking at things to settle back down a little bit, and they're able to get some better prices. They didn't ape in at the top, so saved their money right there. But right here, see it drop down, like I said, about 50%, and then we blow it off. So how would each of these waves look? Wave 1 would be 390%, almost a 5x. This wave 3, 875%, closer to a 10x, and then from that price level right here, about another 393. So that would make waves 1 and 5 pretty much exactly identical in this situation. You love to see that. That is a beautiful 5-wave impulse. Wave 3 being the longest, 1 and 5 being the same. So I do have, we have to make sure that we're getting through this. There could be confluence at the tops right here at 0.003. But for the time being, I don't think that's the case. I think we do get that extra 5x right here to get us up there from the current price level. So if it doesn't make it that high, this ends up stopping out in these retracements, well, then we can talk about how this would look. It would probably come in something more like that. So this third wave here is going to be big. But for the time being, we showed confluence between the first wave, the first to second wave, getting us up into this area, right? Saw it drop down, and I do think there's a case to be made for this smaller cap coin that it's going to be going up there. Additionally, what this would be doing on a larger time frame, guys, is we'd be looking at a macro A, B, C. And we know the C wave, which is what we're working on right now, the 5 waves, has to be at minimum the length of the A wave. This A wave was 2,000%. I pulled 2,000% from the bottom of the B wave here. That gets us up here to 0.0043. So that's what we'd be looking at is a minimum. That third wave almost gets us there, and then we get that blow off. So a lot of ways to do it. But again, we're going to have to let price action develop. We got to be patient in the meantime because the macros got to get moving in order for Toshi to get moving as well. That's just the way it works. So as I said, join the Quantum Circle, real-time trades, access to my portfolio, 2 macro videos a day. I'm always on the Discord, and I'm teaching you guys how to do TA just like me. The link to that in the bio. If not, just super appreciative you guys are here. If you could follow, like, repost. I want to reach as many people as I can before it's too late. So hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. I'll talk to you in a little bit.